Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Today with exam number 3 in grammar semester 2. الشرح والتفسير ما غنبدا حتى البارت ديال التصحيح. اوكي وهذا الاكزام by the way was sent to me via WhatsApp and it is very challenging. هذا تيتحدى شويه المعارف ديالك الا جلستي وخدمتيه بالخاطر. Okay, it's a little bit tricky. Question: put the verbs in brackets into the correct tense and form. Some of the verbs should be put in the passive and some in the active. تنهضروا على active form, passive voice and active voice. Write the answers in the space provided below the text. Okay, التكست راه خاص على الاقل تقراه بحال هاد النوع بعدا، على الاقل تقراه 2 المرات حتى ل3 المرات تتفهم بعدا التكست وتفهم علاش تيهضر عاد تقدر تجاوب صحيح. اوكي I myself انا قريتو 3 المرات دابا. More cars and lorries drive on our roads every year and sadly as a result of this more and more wild animals killed by vehicles. Roads often cross the routes that take by animals when they are migrating, breeding, or feeding. Every spring, many thousands of toads kill as they make their way to the traditional breeding ponds. All over the world, animals are victims of the road and their dead remains can often see يعني ديك البقايا ديال الجثث ديالهم can often see lying on the roadside. Many badgers and hedgehogs hit by cars at night as they move around in search of food. Rabbits sometimes seem hypnotized by the headlights of cars and not move quickly out of the way. Birds sometimes hit too as they fly low over roads. Can anything do to protect these animals from the dangers of the roads? Well, in 1969, a tow tunnel built in Switzerland and was a great success. Since then, other tunnels construct elsewhere in Europe, not just for toads, but for badgers and salamanders too. In Florida, where the rare Florida panther live, panther tunnels built under the highway and fencing put up beside the highway to guide the animals safely into these underpasses. Road signs warning drivers to look out for particular animals often see in the USA, and it hope that they become a more common sight on the roads of Europe. And here the exercise ends. كنتمنى انكم ما تقراوه just once وحاولوا ديروا مجهود باش تجاوبوا عليه، حيت الامتحان ما غيكون اما بحال هذا الشكل قل من هذا الشكل راه ما يمكنش يكون بالسهوله قل من هذا. full stop. نبدا تصحيح على بركه الله. Okay, put the verbs in brackets into the correct tense and form. Pay attention to the passive and the active voice. Reminder دابا قبل ما نصحوا اجي نتفكروا واحد الحوايج في الباسيف and active voice. We use the passive voice when we put more focus on the action than أو لا rather than on the doer of the action. فاش تنكون تنبغوا نركزوا على الفعل أكثر من على الفاعل. Okay? In an active sentence, the person or thing responsible for the action is in the sentence comes first. داك الفاعل ديال الجملة comes first. In a passive sentence, العكس تاع active sentence, the person or thing acted upon اللي تيدار عليه داك الفعل comes first and the doer of the action is added at the end أو comes at the end introduced with the preposition by. مثال active عندي vehicles are killing wild animals. خليت المثال من التكست باش تكون أوضح. الباسيف ديالها هو wild animals are being killed by vehicles. اوكي ها هو comes first. هذا في active sentence. هذاك البيرسون أو the thing اللي هو vehicles comes first في sentence في active are killing wild animals. دابا في الباسيف wild animals يعني ذاك thing أو ال person that is acted upon اللي وقع عليه الحدث هاي acted upon comes first يعني ها هو wild animals are being killed وعاد الدور ديال الأكشن تيجي تالأخر added at the end introduced with the preposition by are being killed by vehicles. Okay, present continuous in the passive here. Now in a passive sentence we often remove the doer completely. كي عندنا الحالة هنا في هذا التكست يعني في passive sentence تنحيد هذاك الدور الفاعل completely sometimes. Okay, passive هاي شوف كي كانت في الactive وكي بتردها في passive. Wild animals are being killed every year وتندير full stop ما نحتاجش نقول by vehicles وهي ولات عندي في الباسيف. اوكي يعني من خلال الفهم ديال هذا الشيء غتقدروا تفهموا معايا في التصحيح دابا اللي جاي ديال التكست. اوكي more cars and lorries are being driven on our roads every year. passive عندي هنايا passive voice are being driven ما عارفين شكون اللي ساقهم are being driven on our roads every year. And sadly, as a result of this, more and more wild animals are being killed by vehicles. خديت المثال من التكست واللي شرحت به. Again, passive voice are being killed وهنا دايرين the doer of the action اللي هو vehicles. نقدر نأوميتيو ونحيدو ونقولو are being killed والجملة صحيح. Roads often عندي هذا adverb of frequency often يعني والverb cross يعني simple present. Roads plural often cross the routes that are taken by animals. Again عندي passive voice taken by animals هي by هو الدور هو animals. roads taken by animals when they are migrating, breeding or feeding. Every spring many thousands of toads عاوتاني every spring يعني repeated action غادي نستعمل passive في present are killed as they make their way to the traditional breeding ponds. All over the world animals are victims of the road and their dead remains البقايا المخلفات ديال الجثث ديالهم can often be seen lying on the roadside. عقلوا على هذا expression can often can always be done can sometimes be done can often be seen lying on the roadside. غندير شرح بسيط لهذا الباسيف voice with infinitive. هذا غتكونوا قريتوه ولا قرا عليكم الأستاذ قبل now or I don't know. The infinitive passive voice هو اللي تستعمل هنايا. ما هو باختصار is used after modal verbs هو عندي هنا كان and other verbs that are normally followed by an infinitive. في الباك إلا عقلتو راه غيكون عطاكم الأستاذ واحد الليستة ديال verbs that are followed by infinitives أو verbs اللي تيتبعهم gerund. أنا فاش قريت في الباك هادشي اللي كان عطاني الأستاذ. Anyway, the infinitive passive voice is made up الفورم ديالو is made up of to plus be plus past participle. هذا تيبي شوية تركيز. نشوف الإكزامبل. You should be gone home. هنا قلنا infinitive passive voice is used with modal verbs. هنا عندي should ها هو be ها هو gone past participle. Okay. He wants to be invited in the wedding party. To be past participle. He wants to راه wants دائما تيكون مع تتبع infinitive. He wants to play, he wants to eat, etc. He wants to زائد be هو to be زائد invited past participle. اوكي هذا تيتسمى infinitive passive voice. They passed their exams successfully and were ready to be rewarded. Ready to be rewarded. To be past participle. To be rewarded. Again هذا infinitive passive. شكون اللي بيعطيهم داك الريوردز؟ واش المدير واش الأستاذ؟ we don't know.